BKO, why do you think the health sector has been experiencing worsening job migration?
I think there are a number of reasons. Um, Economic immigration is not a new thing. People will go for greener pastures. But you and I know that this kind of migration out of our country is a very serious one. It's troubling. It's really, really troubling. And it has great implications for child and family health. The advocacy in child and family health, Bill and Melinda Gates project in Nigeria, conducted some research, and I found some of the data that they came up with really, really troubling. And I'm hoping as a patriotic Nigerian that we can do something about this. A situation in which 8 out of 10 doctors graduating from medical college in our country believe that they must leave the country. It's troubling. 8 out of 10. That's effectively more than 80% of the doctors that we are training in our country coming out of medical college. What crosses their mind is how to leave the country to go and work elsewhere. So they've been living for the UK, the US, the UAE, Australia, and other countries. And the number has been rising. Between 2016 and 2018, Nigeria lost 9,000 medical doctors to the UK, Canada, and the US. Yet there are other countries that these doctors go to that are not even captured. We don't have enough medical schools to continue to churn out doctors at the rates at which they are living. All the medical colleges in Nigeria, including the private ones, graduate between 3,000 to 3,500 doctors every year. But with thousands of them emigrating to foreign lands, if we do not address this problem, it will have serious implications for child and family health. And we really do not want to see that. It's been going up like that for some time. Nigeria is out of the 80,000 registered doctors with licenses to practice in Nigeria, only 40,000 were practicing. Now, the NMA is telling us that only 24,000 nurses, doctors are practicing in our country. About 11,000 nurses and midwives left Nigeria for developed countries in the last 3 years alone. Ibrahim, 11,000 nurses and midwives left Nigeria in the last 3 years alone. So the number of Nigerian trained nurses increased by 68.4% from 2,790 in March 2017 to 7.256 in March 2022. So there is a 68.4% rise in the number of nurses trained in our country who have left for greener pasture. Today, there are more than 20,000 Nigerian doctors practicing in the UK alone, in the USA. And there's no major hospital in the US without a Nigerian trained doctor working there. So It also has to do with remuneration. The base salary that the doctor, the Nigerian doctor coming into the UK, the base salary that he gets paid is £4,000. You and I know that it is about 880 naira to £1.
To £1.
Even their exchange rate now, 880. And someone goes to the UK, he gets paid £4,000 a month. How do we convince such people to remain in their country? It's really, really troubling. It's really troubling.
Well,
So,
BKO, Nigeria is not the only
and the
country
ones who
affected
are
by
even
this.
staying, the ones who are in Nigeria, they are not prepared to stay in the hinterland.
Yeah.
Every doctor wants to practice in the tertiary health institutions. And the tertiary health institutions are supposed to be centers of excellence, centers of research, and places where other cases that can be handled at primary and secondary level should be transferred to. I'm talking about like the National Hospital and specialist hospitals. This is where virtually every doctor wants to serve. So in our rural areas, people are suffering. Access to Medicare is reduced drastically because there are not enough public health centers in those rural areas.
Yeah.
That is why a lot of our people are dying due to diseases that are preventable. So if we continue to have a situation in which doctors leave our country at the rates that they are leaving our country, then we'll be in trouble because it is about 10,000 doctors, 10,000 Nigerians to one doctor, which is troubling. The ratio that the World Health Organization recommends is way lower than that. It should be at least 1,000 doctor to a patient. I mean, to one 1,000. How do I describe it? It is supposed to be 1,000 based on the population.
Yeah.
Calculating now based on our population,
Right.
it should be one doctor to 1,000 persons.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the Indians. The Indians have been able to, they are able to produce about 50,000 doctors every year from more than 300 medical colleges.
Yeah.
So they've been able to meet that World Health Organization threshold. For us, it is one doctor to 10,000 patients. That is looking at our. So the alarm bells are there. We've just got to do something. How do we stop these doctors from leaving our country? Remember the examination that was held in Abuja, that large crowd of doctors. You know, some of the doctors saw even the lecturers, the professors that trained them in the university. Some of them sat for the same exam with those professors. You can imagine. So there has to be enough opportunities here for them to stay, enough opportunities for growth. They should be well remunerated. Otherwise, this thing will get worse and we will not have enough qualified medical professionals to take care of our people. All of those PHCs, public health centers that you see, they are supposed to be doctors heading them, supported by nurses and ancillary nurses. But what we have is a situation in which nurses are made to head such PHCs. They were not designed like that. They were designed with a doctor sitting at the top. You know? So we have all kinds of problems and we just need to find a way to arrest these trips. We can't stop people from traveling abroad. In fact, in the UK, Nigeria is third amongst nationals of other countries practicing in the UK. we are taught behind India
Yeah.
and Pakistan.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the point that we are making is the Indians have a lot more doctors in their country because they produce more than 50,000 doctors every year from their medical colleges. We are only able to produce about 3,000 to 3,500.
Yeah. BKO.
So at the rate that people are living, if about 9,000 can live within 3 years, you can see that we cannot produce cannot produce doctors at the rate. It will get to a point that we will not be able to produce doctors at the rate at which they are
They're
living in
living
our
in the
country.
country.